Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the channel. It's me, it's your girl, Sia Knight. I am your mobile notary mentor, and I'm here for another video. And I'm going to talk about kind of what it's like, the real deal of being a mobile notary. Now, I know there are plenty of channels who are talking specifically about being a loan signing agent, but my lane, my jam is to talk primarily about um, general notary work, GNW, right? So, a question that I was asked recently and I wanted to address is what forms of payment do you take for general notary work? Now, this is an interesting question because unlike with loan signings, with general notary work, you get paid on the spot. And I actually know of some people who get paid before they reach their destination. So they don't even go out until they receive their payment. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how I allow people to pay me. And the short answer is in as many ways possible. I don't want payment method to be a barrier. So, first, the question is a question that I got last week was, do you take checks? And the answer to that is no. I just don't particularly take checks, even though I know that nowadays with checks you can kind of you can deposit them very quickly. In fact, I've had, when I used to take checks, I would sit in my car, take the little picture and deposit it almost immediately. But at this point, I just don't take checks. And one reason is because there are so many other ways that you can pay me. So the next method in terms of what I do accept is number one, credit cards or debit cards. So I have my business set up through Square, so I can easily accept those payments through credit or debit cards, and people are usually pretty used to that nowadays. I remember a few years ago, I made a payment. I paid for something through Square, and I gave the person my debit card, and they were punching in numbers on their phone. I'm like, "What is this?" But now it's like 5, 6 years later, so hopefully everyone knows that that is just kind of commonplace now. So that's the first method. So debit or credit cards through Square, yes. I also take PayPal. So that was probably one of the first methods that people started to use, electronic methods of paying other people that kind of wasn't your debit card, wasn't your credit card, but PayPal. So PayPal is kind of like a throwback, but yes, I do accept PayPal. The other methods that I accept are kind of newer. So the first thing I'll say is Venmo. So people are like, "What is a Venmo?" And some people are like, "How can you live without Venmo?" But Venmo is a way to pay uh, pay someone. Um, I think a lot of people before the pandemic started using Venmo when it came time to go out to dinner, and like one person would pay for the dinner, and then the other people say, "Well, can I Venmo you?" So it's a way to move money. So I do accept Venmo for my general notary work. Also, along the same lines is Cash App. Cash App is the same concept. Now, I know that there's been a lot in the news lately about Cash App and Venmo and those types of retailers. So make sure, and this is not a notary kind of word to the wise. This is just overall. Make sure you're keeping an eye on those accounts, just to make sure nothing funny is going on. But that is another way that I accept payment. So and also the last but not least is cash. So some people say, "Hey, do you accept cash?" And I say, I sure do. Yes, absolutely. I accept cash, and there are several ways that I can write a receipt for that. If a person wants receipt for the cash, you can do that often through one of the other, like PayPal. I can generate a receipt. I could generate a receipt through. Um, a number of different things. I've got another invoicing system. So, those are the ways that I accept payment for my general notary work, my general notary services. So, if you have any other questions, please feel free to write them down in the comments. And until next time, goodbye.